I think there's something in there too for you during this time of being able to continue the growth path you've been on of establishing boundaries for yourself, getting better at knowing yourself and what you want and don't want, and trusting yourself and knowing that, okay, this is a grown person who, if I reject them, it's not my responsibility to help them through their emotions. They have to
Right,
take,
right.
it's like all those things you're already
Yeah,
working on.
yeah.
You get to use this as just like more training grounds, right? And like
Yeah,
the friendships that you have that are safe for practicing boundaries, right? To know that if I tell this person no, it doesn't result in a withdrawal of love and affection and tenderness for me. This person still loves me, even if
right,
I tell them no to this request that they have, right?
right.
So it's kind of just, yeah, all of that. So that if one day you date, you've had this period of prioritizing yourself and your well being, your healing, and your wholeness, per your
Yeah.
book, Whole. So, and really, that's like all we can do. Like, all we have is now, and we are responsible for ourselves and our own healing. So, yeah.
Um, Thank you so much for that. Speaking of promoting yourself and getting the word out there, I marked a few poems in my one of my more recent books, Whole, that go along with what we're talking about. Could I just read a few poems?
I want you to read them, but there's also one that if you know where it is, I think it was
Okay.
in Whole, where you were like, basically, if a man's going to come along, he better da 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 da. Do you remember this poem?
I'll find it. As I'm
Okay.
going through here and reading some of these, I will find that
Okay. And if
one.
you
And
don't find it and you want to record yourself and send it to me for me to just
okay,
tag
perfect.
into here, that would be great. Okay.
Okay, so this one is called JOY. Jesus first, yourself last, others in between. For years and years, I denied myself and picked up my cross, loved God, loved Jesus, loved my husband, my kids, my church, my neighbors. And if there was anything left, I'd love me. Too
Mm,
bad there was never anything left.
mm,
And then this one, I made some art out of the cover of the book that I am actually talking about in this poem. Shit marriage advice. There's a book I read more than once and quoted in the books I wrote with this premise: the point of marriage is to make you holy, not happy. And instead of regretting my largely unhappy marriage, I would like to congratulate myself on being one of the holiest women I know. Okay, so then a section in Whole about, oh, wait, I just lost that part. Okay. I have a whole section about infidelity, but this one is in the section called Books, a Love Affair. Caught under the covers. Marla spends so much time with her books, she might as well be cheating on me, said the man who actually cheated on me for years, like with an actual person and sex. Thankfully, the courts here in South Carolina don't recognize reading as adultery. Phew. And then the next poem is called Books as Bosom Friends. Farah Jasmine Griffin writes about reading as a process of intimate intellectual engagement. This is why I read, then write things to be read. But no matter how intimate the engagement, I'm pretty sure it doesn't qualify as cheating. And then cerebral. Anybody else spend so much time in their head that they forget they have other parts? No, just me. I'm slowly working on noticing and being kind to and taking care of all of me, not just my brain. And phew, it's a big ass job. Thanks, but no. If I'm ever in a relationship again, I will have zero patience for arguing. If we fight a lot, it will be over before it begins. I did that for way too many years and
mm,
it left scars.
mm,
Solitary delightment. 3 years after he left, now it's almost 5, I still get giddy at night after my work is done and I get to crawl into bed all by myself with a
mm.
snack and a drink and reruns on my laptop and no one in my room but me. 2 more. Eye of the beholder. Looked at my body in the mirror before my shower today and thought, damn, girl, someone should really be seeing this. I think that very often. If I wait till 60, some of this is going to sag. And I don't know. Because here's the thing, I have always had a small chest and put on a little weight over the past few years. I'm like, oh, that actually makes my boobs perkier. And they're not saggy because they've never been big. Like some of my friends who are lamenting their saggy breasts because they were bigger. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of great. So at this age, thinking if I wait till I'm 60 or 70 to date someone, I should take some photos now so that I can show him. This is what I had while you were not in my life yet. Out of sight. Music and sex are both super fun and feel pretty damn good after I get started on them. But on any given day, I just kind of forget they exist. Maybe I'll find someone who reminds me. And this, I don't know if this is the poem you're talking about. This may not be. Dating status, working on becoming the most whole version of me, just for me. If I do meet a wonderful someone someday who wants to be my person, that's great. And if I don't, well, then I'll happily live out the rest of my days with my own beautiful, wonderful, delightful, very whole, and fabulous self.
Might be it, but even if it's not, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I'll look back through
Okay.
the PDF that I have from Whole,
Yeah.
like when I read Whole.
Yeah.
There's just one that I had made a note of that, but yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing those with us. Well,
Yeah.
I want you to now take this time to share anything else you want to talk about with your writing, your books, your Substack, where people can get your books. This is the time to, yeah, say all the things about the writing.
Okay, so I am trying to figure out the internet and social media and where I want to be and who's not bad and how I can stay connected with people. And so most of my time is still spent on Instagram at Marla Taviano. So I post a lot of things there, my books, my poem art. Substack, I for a long time was just posting one poem every Thursday for free subscribers, and then I would write other stuff for paid subscribers. It's kind of a place where I feel a little safer airing out some things, venting about some things, some ideas that I'm not quite sure how I feel about yet, and getting some feedback from people, even though I don't necessarily know every single person who is a paid subscriber. I feel like they're not going to, they can't stalk me necessarily because I have their email address. So if my ex or someone who I know is an enemy would try to become a paid subscriber, I could see that they had done that. But I have recently been sharing some more essay type things and things that I'm thinking about. And for my paid subscribers, the last couple of weeks, I've been writing about some heated discussions I had with my parents about
Yeah.
theology and politics. And I think this week, what I will share with my paid subscribers is I will make some good use of these 4 pages of notes that I have written up about dating.
Love
And
to hear reusing things. Yes,
and
yes.
if people want to read all about this, they can become a paid subscriber. If they want the free edition, they can listen to this podcast interview because I mean, listen, I talked about my boobs, I talked about masturbating. There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff I don't normally spend a lot of time speaking out loud about. So yeah, Substack is substack.marlataviano.com. You can just search my name in there, but I do a lot of writing in there. And for a while, I wasn't asking people to become paid subscribers. And sometimes I'll get a little annoyed with people who are like writing a little bit and then they just leave the rest for the paid subscribers. I'm like, boo. But I'm realizing, hey, this is what I do. This is my art. This is a way people can support me. And I've told people, my sister-in-law, for example, they were selling their house, moving into another house. Finances were up in the air for a while. And she said, as soon as we get everything settled, I want to become a paid subscriber, but I'm dying to know what you said about XYZ first. So I would just screenshot and send her all of the things. And I've told people, if you can't afford this and we're friends, just let me know and I will screenshot all the dating stuff that I want to say. But yeah, I spend time there. And then my books, I've got a poetry trilogy, which I'm finding has turned people off because they don't think they like poetry. But if you heard the poems that I just read, they're very relatable, understandable. It's not ambiguous. It's just basically me taking great big paragraphs of ideas and scaling them down into few words and trying to be clever. They're fun. So Unbelieve, Jaded, and Whole is that trilogy. I make a lot of poem art. I take my poems, I cut them up, glue them on kids' book illustrations. I have 2 books called Please Cut Up My Poems and Poem Art Therapy, where you can actually cut out the poems yourself and make art or just read the poems. My latest book is called What Makes You Fart, and it's all about listening to your body as you explore your passions and what you love. So I really I really love that one. And I'm currently working on 2 rewrites of ebooks that I'd written back in the day. And I'm really excited to bring these out during my 50th year. One is about unschooling, and one is about the year that we lived with our Somali refugee neighbors in Ohio. Both feel really important to me in this time where the education system is being dismantled and harmed, and immigrants are being lied about and deported. And I'm also working on talking to my, it's a project where I have books in the world called From Blushing Bride to Wedded Wife. Is That All He Thinks About? How to Enjoy Great Sex with Your Husband, that I wrote in 2006 and 7 as a newly married woman trying to help other Christian women be good wives. Makes me want to vomit, but I am going to write. I'm in the process of writing to that woman from 2006 from 2025. And it is hard and beautiful. Like, it is so much fun. So I'm realizing that the theme of this 50th year is looking back at where I have come from so that I can pave the path forward that I want to take. So I love sharing that journey. I just have a lot of interest in things, but they all kind of circle back to loving people, wanting people to be whole, and not being put in boxes that other people want us in, whether it's the patriarchy that wants us there, evangelical Christianity wants us there, white supremacy wants us there. Breaking out of those and helping other people break out too, and using my life as an example. I'm realizing as I look back, oh wow, I did that. I've been doing that for a really long time. Like, I even something silly like going to 52 zoos in 52 weeks. That's weird. Like, why would you do that? It's unconventional, and that's what I did. I just, who cares what other people are doing? So, to wrap that all up to dating, I need to find a person who is either very weird themselves or just loves all the parts of me that are the weirdest. If there's someone out there like that, plus all the other things like the anti-racist, blah, 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 then that will be my person. And like I said in the poem, and I meant it, if there is no person for me, it's okay. Like, I've been there, I've done that, I've been married, I had the kids, I did all the things that so many women that I know wish that they had. I have all that, so I don't need that anymore. So if it does come, it will be some kind of happy bonus on top of the life that I already love.
I love that. And even when you talking about that poem that was about the parts of you, and even the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you're writing to that, if I'm understanding correctly, writing to the person that you were when you wrote
Yeah. Uh-huh.
from blushing bride to wedded wife. So, yeah, like that's just such deeply healing work. And you are obviously the primary beneficiary of that, but your kids and the people closest to you, the ways that we also benefit from you being your most healed and whole self, or
Yeah.
healing and working towards wholeness. So I want you to know, I'm going to go on record saying, I adore you. I'm obsessed with you. I love you so fucking much. And I appreciate you trusting me enough to talk about this with me, for doing an interview about something like dating. And I want to just say that I'm grateful for you taking the time to think about this and share your experiences and hold it with a lot of tenderness, and also just being really, not to sound weird. I don't know how it comes across to say, like, inspired by you and in awe of you and the human that you are. And that as different as we are, that just the alchemy when we come together, and the what I feel in my body, knowing you and loving you. So thank you. Mm.
Well, I'm not going to say all the stuff that you just said because that was brilliant, and I can just flip it right back to you. That was so kind of you to say. But that is like, that might also be something that bonds us together, is our transparency and vulnerability, where there is literally no one on this planet that I would feel this safe talking about this particular topic at this particular time with, even though we, like you said, we are in totally different situations. Like you are in an open marriage and doing all the things that you want to do and feeling free and having all the fun and all of that. And I am not in a marriage and I could be doing these things and I'm not for whatever reason. Like even though that's different, we both for a very long time have been sharing openly and honestly and deeply about who we are and loving other people. And so I think that is like that deep heart connection. And for you, I think what's so special about you is that you, okay, how to say this, like your persona, that your Beattie persona, like the flirting, the cute, the this, the that, the all of that you are so good at. It's not an act, it is who you are. And plus also you have this deep, smart, like perceptive, thoughtful self inside, and you're not turning, it's not like you're turning them off and turning them on. You're not playing the ditzy blonde and then you're this person, really. Like it's all who you are and you can do it all together. So maybe if you didn't have that deep side also, maybe you and I wouldn't have had the connection, because I would have been like, oh, I don't get that. Like I don't know how to do that. Like anywhere she goes, I'm not going to fit because I don't know how to do like that social interaction or whatever. Maybe not. Like I'm not saying that all of my friends are this deep soul inside, but all of that to say that each one of us can be who we are and who we want to be in whatever kind of weird or unconventional way that is, and be that deep thing inside too. Like those are my favorite kind of people, is what I'm saying, that can be so serious and so unserious. Like so just both of those things. My favorite friends are funny and hilarious, but if I'm in pain, they meet me right there where my pain is. I'll give one example. Like my friend Trey, who is a Black pastor, and then my friend Nicki, who is a, well, you, whatever you want to call yourself, like whatever, like so totally, like both of these people different from who I am, so funny and so kind and serious and loving, and like again meeting me in that pain. I could go to both of you if I had the best, most exciting, wildest, funniest news in the world, or if I had something devastating happen. I could do that. So that's what I want to put out in the world, that I want to be hilarious and I want to be safe. Like those two things that I, and more, but you know what I mean? Like I want to be that for people, and you are that for me. So thank you for having me on as a guest when you don't do guests, first of all. And I'm coming on to your dating podcast to be like, nope, we're not doing this. Dating is dumb. Like,
Well, but I think that's the beauty of this experience, is honoring everyone's experience with it, right?
yeah.
And that the freedom comes with the being able to ask the questions and show up how you want to show up with the data you have right now, and you reserve the right to change your mind. And this is your journey, and honoring that. And I'll just add like my three, obviously more, but my three things being authenticity, vulnerability, and curiosity, and you
Yeah.
embodying those. So when someone embodies those things, those are people I want to be close to and to know, so that I like to say, I can be myself and you can be yourself, and we can be who we are together.
Yes.
And that's just one of my favorite things. And that is what I have with you. So thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank
you.
you. Thank you. All right. I love you. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your Sunday when we're
Yes.
recording this.
I
So
love you too.
thank you so much for tuning in for this special episode of the So You Think You Can Date podcast. Make sure to subscribe to So You Think You Can Date, rate and review the show on all the platforms, and share this episode with someone that you think would enjoy it and who is ready to do dating differently. Also, make sure you follow Marla on social media, subscribe to her Substack to stay up to date with her writing, and purchase her books. I have her information linked in the show notes. Pre-order my new book, Coming of Age and Coming Out, Stories of Repressed and Reclaimed Sexual Desire. You can pre-order today by visiting nickipappas.com/shop. Coming of Age and Coming Out is a collection of stories about coming of age from childhood through adolescence, and then coming out in my 30s as queer and non-monogamous. It will be released in June 2025. With your pre-order purchase, you will receive a free download of the Come Alive guide in your inbox. If you want to follow my writing, you can subscribe to my Substack that is called Coming Alive, where I write about pursuing all that makes us come alive per the Howard Thurman quote, "Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive and go do it." Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. You can follow me on Instagram at Broadening the Narrative, which is the account I started in 2019 to document my journey in broadening the narratives or stories that I was taught about myself and others. Come back next week for an episode about how to handle dating if you've been labeled intimidating, which was going to be the 5th episode before I decided to switch things up and release Marla's episode early. So yeah, let's talk next week about what it's like to be called intimidating by potential dates.